watching from up there. I don't know what they were doing. Do you have a camera with you?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that might be a good option for you for that one. Did you guys go at noon?
Yes.
Yeah, I would suggest asking at halftime of this game.
Okay.
And he's in this white truck that's right over here. His name's Chase. And if you want to come back and grab me, I'll take you over there.
Appreciate it.
Right?
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Hey, what's up? Yeah. You want to put your headset on and do an audio test quick? Checking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Testing. I don't have anything in my headphones.
Yeah, neither do I, actually.
Aye. Check, check. 1, 2. Testing. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, it's up. There we go.
Oh,
Got it in my head now. Go ahead, Jonah.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Yep, I hear.
All good.
Hear Jake.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome.
Okay, sounds good.
Levy, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, Chase, Phoenix Rising was asking about using that lift like Austin did. Do you care if they use it? Yeah, I told him to come find you at halftime. I said that'd probably be easier because you're about to go live. He was much more friendly than the Austin people, so I don't think you'll have a problem with it. So I told him to come back at halftime, and I'll bring him over to you. But yeah, I think he has a camera. He's there. We welcome you to Day 2 of the 2024 Coachella Valley Invitational here on Field 1 from the historic Empire Polo Club in Indio, California. Two teams looking to build upon good showings on Wednesday as the San Jose Earthquakes take on Charlotte FC. Hi, everybody. My name is Jake Levy, joined by Jonah Malkin this afternoon. We've got another fun day of soccer coming your way as the MLS preseason continues to barrel towards the openers in late February. Both of these teams put on good offensive showings on Wednesday, Jonah, and now they look to build upon it here in Day 2.
Yeah, there's no question about it, Jake. And this is the exciting part of the preseason because we're starting to see more of the starting lineups actually play in these games, especially for teams like San Jose and the Earthquakes, because when you get a guy in Carlos Acapo who's returning back from international play, another key part of their defensive line that's now back and whole coming into this preseason. And then for Charlotte, of course, they had a great showing in the debut of head coach Dean Smith, who we'll talk about, a 3-0 victory against the Galaxy. They looked really sharp and hoping to build on that in their second tune-up in this Valley Invitational.
Yeah, 3 second-half goals in that opener on Wednesday led to a 3-0 victory for Charlotte FC. Meanwhile, San Jose played to a 2-2 draw with New York City FC. New York City FC will be back in action later on today, taking on the Portland Timbers. Charlotte in the purple kits trimmed in blue with the blue numbers and names on the back. San Jose in the all-whites. While we have a moment, you get a look there at Christian Espinoza and Enzo Capetti. We'll give you a look at the starting lineups for both of these teams. First for San Jose, they'll go with Daniel in goal once again. You heard Jonah mention Carlos Acapo is back from international duty. He'll play the wing back. Rodriguez and Tanner Beeson are the center backs. And Paul Marie, who had that outstanding goal from his left back spot, is back there today. Carlos Gruezo, Jackson Ewell, and Jack Skayen in the midfield. And then that same top line, Jeremy Abobasi, Christian Espinoza, and Benji Kikanovic, who had that goal on Wednesday. And we're off and running as San Jose will get first crack at possession. They go the long ball over the top and nothing doing there. On the other side for Charlotte, David Bingham getting the start in goal for the boys in blue today. Jere Urunen is in the back, as long as Adilson Madanda, Andrew Privet, and Jalen Lindsay. Then in the midfield, Ashley Westwood, Brecht Dejaure, and a trialist that'll wear number 20. Up top, Enzo Capetti getting the start at the striker position today. Tariq Fosu, one of the trialists on the wing, as well as Berkimas on the other side for Charlotte FC.
And I think, Jake, that for Charlotte, it all starts with Ashley Westwood. This is a guy that's the reigning captain of the team, 33 years of age, a lot of experience. He kind of sets the tone even in a preseason game like this.
Berkimas was trying to build forward there, gets run out of play. And, yeah, there's some veteran leadership on this Charlotte team and a lot of buzz about the preseason that Charlotte has had. Dean Smith in his first season at the helm, the third head coach in as many years for the upstart MLS side Charlotte FC, but really a big signing when it was announced, and it has lived up to the billing so far. Got the clean sheet on Wednesday, and really, if you follow Charlotte FC on social media, I think the biggest thing that you're seeing is some big communal action and the team really getting to bond the way they would like. There's a little indecision there by Bingham, but he'll pull it back and get things started.
And it's key because when you have a team in Charlotte FC that was founded in 2019, but really the first year that they played was in 2022, you need excitement. You need buzz in a city. And Dean Smith, coming from the Premier League, brings that decade of experience and leadership in the highest level. And it allows this fan base to once again believe like this is a team that can go on another deep run.
Capo trying to break lines. Well done defensively at the moment by Fosu, the trialist, and now Charlotte wrestles possession away. Westwood starts it forward. They'll build through Lindsay on the far side. Through their exciting trialist, who Dean Smith will probably mention in his post-game talk, but we won't blow up their spot here. And one of the biggest things for Charlotte, the impact and the focus this year, to simplify the way that they play. Keep things compact, make it difficult to score on them, and then find ways to break lines, and when the opportunity is there, to take it. They have really exciting attackers. Enzo Capetti's great making those runs in behind. As they play it near side, there's the trialist. He'll get it back on a give and go. Tried to touch it forward, but that run away.
And part of the way that they do that right now, Charlotte playing in that 3-5-2 formation, heavy on the midfield.
Espinoza with a good ball in. Had a man, but it's touched away. Looked like Kikanovic had bent that run in nicely. And there's a capo.
And when you've got those five midfielders, you make the game more simple because you force a team like San Jose to have to play along the perimeter. You compact the middle of the field, have to stretch the field a little bit more. It allows your defense to stay more organized, and that's a core tenet for a Coach Dean Smith squad, is maintaining that defensive cohesion. We saw that against LA Galaxy. They played really well on the back line, didn't concede any goals, hoping to replicate that same success today.
Trying the little flick on there, wasn't there that time. Charlotte FC can head back the other way. Fosu thinks he got a deflection, but no such luck. Just a few minutes in, day 2 of the Coachella Valley Invitational. Glad to have you alongside, whether it's afternoon over on the East Coast or still in the morning time here where we sit. A chilly, windy, but sunny day, which certainly will take after the way the week started. Little indecision along the near side, pulled away by Abobasi. Fosu able to win it back for the moment. Now Abobasi sending Espinoza through, cross in front, and there is the veteran Bingham who falls on it. Bingham getting the start again here today, trying to hold down the fort until Christian Kalani gets back. Kalina, who was still working on his green card, and visa rather, to get back into the country, and the Croatian will take back over. And Kalina had a heck of a year last season for Charlotte FC, helped them in some big games down the stretch. As here's a build from the far side.
He was absolutely instrumental in that regular season finale against Inter Miami, keeping that potential goal-scoring opportunity in the 90th minute to propel them to their first ever postseason appearance. He was absolutely huge in that regular season and also in the postseason. He's been a big reason that this team has had the kind of early success that they've had.
And they bring in a veteran like Bingham to play that backup role, become a really veteran presence as the center string. There's a big logjam at goalkeeper depth for Charlotte FC, a ton of really exciting young talent for them. They added to it earlier this week as well. We'll talk about it as this game unfolds. But, of course, I've got Udunze, who will likely get some action here this week while he's here. George Marks, the collegiate standout. But a lot of local guys in this system, and they added another North Carolinian and Nick Holliday earlier this week. They transfer over from North Carolina FC. And so a lot of options for the present and the future.
And
behind Kalina.
And one of those key future pieces, by the way, Cade Cowell. This is a guy just 20 years of age, just kind of transferred him away, and so it opens up potential spot. His younger brother, Chance Cowell, also growing up in this program. So there's some young pieces that have a potential bright future here in San Jose.
Cal, what a start for Chivas the other day. Picked up a brace as a heavy challenge there. Uronen on the worse end of that. He and Espinoza got tangled up.
That duo up top with Espinoza and Jeremy Abobasi, those two guys are kind of the primary forms of action up top for the San Jose team. We already saw an early sequence with the two of them along the right flank that created a chance for Espinoza. Didn't quite have the touch he was looking for on the cross, but that's who they have to target if you're San Jose.
Long ball over the top, probing down the right wing, trickles out. Nothing doing there. And again, a windy day, so see how it affects the teams playing out of the back. You can see some of the trees swaying in the distance. Anyone who follows Charlotte FC on social media got the weather report from their goalkeeper, David Bingham. It's cold and it's going to be windy.
Certainly better than a rain downpour, though, Jake. That was the potential couple of days ago earlier this week. Wasn't sure if these fields were going to be playable. Fortunately, they are.
Yeah, we saw a few slips on Wednesday. San Jose capitalized on a couple as they play it up the right side of Capo. Now Espinoza had an assist on Wednesday. Back to Acampo with the overlapping run. Plays it through nicely. Chased down by Skayen, but he can't get a deflection. And Charlotte FC will get the ball back.
Love that patience from Acampo. You can just see how under control he is. Not flustered at all. Maximizing those touches. One of the most productive touches for a San Jose Earthquake player last season. Obviously, the club exercising his contract for this season. You could see the impact he's had early on.
Yeah, well, since we saw the Quakes on Wednesday, they've added to their roster quite a bit. They added Bruno Wilson, Amal Pellegrino, and also added another goalkeeper to their midst, all in the last few days. And that tends to be what happens here with the transfer window open. And Charlotte looking for some reinforcements as well. They've got a couple of international guys they'll get back in the coming weeks. But they're a little thin on the wing here in this Coachella Valley Invitational. Gives a chance for some of the younger guys to show what they can do as Rodriguez. And a foul drawn right in the middle of the park. Nice job by Kikanovic. There you see number 20. You can see his name. We won't say it.
This is a great spot for a free kick right here if you're San Jose, because you have options galore. You can keep it on the ground. You can target that upper left corner potentially. All your options at your disposal. As we take another look at the foul there. A little bit too over-aggressive defensively for Malanda.
Espinoza standing over the ball, has Gruezo to his side. Christian Espinoza, Gruezo. Back to Espinoza. The drive-in blocked away nicely. Berkemis got in front of it. Another ball in, and quick off his line is Bingham. Well defended there by Charlotte FC. First dangerous set piece for either side, and now a quick restart. They'll play it up the right wing.
That's all that you hope for as a goalkeeper if you're David Bingham, is you feel that ball in your hands early. It's his first touch of the game, just kind of settles you down a little bit. There was a brief scare on that free kick for San Jose, but nice job by David Bingham quickly charging off the line.
Ewell. Back for Rodriguez. Jackson Ewell in that central midfield role. He was all over the field on Wednesday. Now they'll try to probe that left side, looking for Kikanovic. Well read in the end. And now Charlotte FC will have a chance to build something forward here. Charlotte played to a scoreless, as you get a look at the wind and those palm trees swaying. Told you it was windy. You can see it on the jerseys as well. The second day of this preseason Coachella Valley Invitational. Really great event in the backyard of LA Galaxy, who's in town. They'll be in action tomorrow. They got the tournament started on Wednesday as well in that 3-0 loss to Charlotte. Tomorrow, both LA teams in action on Super Bowl Sunday.
We also saw LA FC losing to St. Louis City on Wednesday, 1-0. That was the first crack at what their team could look like from this Coachella Valley Invitational. A lot of youth on LAFC, and that's the benefit of having such a loaded team that's had so much success like they've had over the last several years since their recent inception, of course, finishing as the runner-ups last year, but winning the MLS Cup final in 2022. It's a great opportunity with this entire tournament to showcase the younger players, as we're going to continue to talk about that, Jake, but especially with the LA teams and LAFC in particular, really bright future for them.
Kikanovic tried to center that one, played away, and now a chance to build back for Charlotte. And again, well read as it gets to that danger point. Berkemis trying to give it a look.
And a slightly more conventional formation for San Jose, rocking the 3-4-3 formation, so more of the emphasis being put potentially up top for San Jose versus Charlotte, trying to control that middle of the field to control tempo and pace.
Rodriguez will use the width through Acapo. Carlos Acapo given space up the right touchline. Had a runner, but Espinoza looked to move into a nearly offside position, so thinks better of it, takes a bump and draws a foul. So really, with nothing to do there, Acapo does well to at least earn a set piece as he draws the foul on the trialist.
You love to see that little friendly conversation with Copetti and Jackson Ewell. Those two have a lot of experience playing in the MLS together. Ewell, 26-year-old, and Copetti, 28.
Again, Espinoza over the ball, this time a bit further from range. They tried the training gown play last time. This time a drive straight away towards the back post. Had a couple of runners, but can't pick out Rodriguez. And that wind will certainly make things interesting today on those types of efforts. We saw Espinoza put the ball wherever he wanted on Wednesday. a really good showing after leading the team in goal contributions a year ago. And a guy who kind of flew under the radar with San Jose sitting in the middle of the pack in the Western Conference, but put up really good numbers, and they like what they have in Espinoza.
Certainly coming off a really productive year last year, 13 goals, named the club's Offensive Player of the Year. So the expectations are really high for Espinoza, but that's what he would want.
Here he is, looking for Skayen. Flag stays down. Skayen will win the corner. So Espinoza with a nice ball there, forcing some defensive work from Andrew Privet. He concedes the corner kick. Third set piece opportunity for San Jose, and again it's Espinoza to deliver. It's time from the corner.
What they opt for with this win, Jake, as well. We've seen how that ball is fluttered in the air a couple times.
Espinoza towards the front post. Again looking for Rodriguez. Skayen keeps it alive. His cross again blocked out for a corner. So that second entry, a nice response there by Uronen to get in front of the crosser, but Skayen stayed with that, forced the issue, and another corner opportunity. San Jose knocking on the door. Espinoza. This time back post. Skayen. Espinoza. Again headed away.
Boy, that
good
first
compact
touch.
Defending from Charlotte.
That first touch by Skayen was just tremendous, taking that out of the air, placing it right on the foot for Espinoza. They couldn't convert, but a wonderful ball there from Jack Skayen.
San Jose building the pressure. They've had a bulk of the offensive chances through the first quarter hour. On Wednesday, they went with two completely starting 11s in each half, so we'll see if that's similar. Perhaps whistle for a handball there as Capetti was trying to control.
And the only aspect of Wednesday's game that disappointed Coach Dean Smith was the fact that the first 30 minutes were primarily controlled by LA Galaxy. When people were talking to him post-game, he said he would have loved had his team come out a little bit more aggressive and a more willingness to take command of those touches in the first 30 minutes. It took them a while to get settled. Once they did, they didn't look back, and they completely dominated the second half.
Westwood with a good ball over the top, sets up an opportunity here. Charlotte, their first foray into the attacking third. Settled there by Fosu. Plays it through the middle, sidestepping into the box for a chance on goal. And it's saved there in tight. The trialist getting a look at goal and forcing Daniel into action. So although San Jose has had the bulk of the chances, the most dangerous of the early goings belongs to Charlotte. It's good tight roping by Rodriguez and past a Capo there. And you see the trialist trying to make his early impression. And again, we've been asked by the Charlotte FC staff not to mention number 20 by name, although his name is on the back of his jersey, and Dean Smith will more than likely mention his name, especially if he were to score a goal. But we will abide by the wishes here in preseason. Collision there, strong on the ball as a Capo. There's Yule again in the middle of the park where he's so comfortable. Switching sides through Beeson.
This is the first time in this game, it feels like, where the back line has had time to pass it back to one another.
A Capo probing for Espinoza. Well-weighted ball. Espinoza the cutback, and it's blocked away. Ebobisse was looming, and it forces Charlotte into emergency defending to concede yet another throw in here. Here goes down the right side, Skayen. His crossback is blocked into the air. Espinoza trying to will it back to Yule. Yule continuing to fight for it. Good defending In a 1v1 situation, it had to be.
San Jose did such a good job waiting till the very end at that end line to cross it in, just trying to pull the defense in as far as they can. That's a wonderful switch, by the way, for Charlotte.
Westwood trying to further it along, but here you get another look at the ball. Look at this pass. A Capo for Espinoza. Nice job to clear that, not only away from danger, but not concede the corner kick either. And in the end, Ebobisse was a few steps away from having an impact on that. But like the idea from San Jose, as they once again build.
You can see the way that they're running, trying to get their triangles and set, always having 3 guys as they're progressing up the field. That's obviously a core principle of so many coaches that you're aspiring towards, to have different outlets to go to. San Jose doing a really good job controlling right now.
Skayan, and not on the same page there with Espinoza. They have really, since they got a Capo back, been utilizing him to build down that right side. A lot of their attacking efforts have been that way when you have Espinoza and a Capo on that side. It's not overly surprising. So now here's Uronen. Charlotte will settle things down as we're near the midway point of this first half. MLS exhibition action. Preseason and the Coachella Valley Invitational. Charlotte looking to build something. Fasu.
That was the right idea for Fasu. His trailer, though, was just 2 steps to his right. Thought he was going to be flashing more to the middle where he could hit him in stride. Instead gives it away.
And now Espinoza with a Capo right on his tail. Sets it for a Capo. A Capo's cross to the back post. Flicked away. Really tightly timed run there. Of course, no VAR here today, so no hybrid or delayed offside. Flag stayed down.
And again, I loved how long a Capo took before he actually crossed that in. Waited for the defender to commit to the slide and the tackle, then just flicked it in. They've done a really good job of getting some of these Charlotte defenders to bite early on a defensive play. Just trying to give their forwards a chance to crash the box.
Well, they'll press high here to make things a bit interesting for Charlotte on the release. Again, with that wind playing a factor, perhaps. Forcing decisions. There's a chance to run down the right side. And Rodriguez will just shield and allow that to trickle all the way out to prevent any further action. Well, Charlotte probably has the most dangerous chance, really the only shot on goal to speak of to this point, but as you see Espinoza, he's been heavily involved for San Jose. They've had a bulk of the attacking pressure. Really tough to say if either side has really had the better of each other, Jonah, here in these first 23 going on 24 minutes.
Yeah, there's no question Charlotte, as you talked about, the trialist put a great shot with the left foot. The challenge for Charlotte has been getting those balls to their forwards because San Jose has really controlled the middle of the field and the majority of the possession. And so more of the chances have been created by them. But the thing about Charlotte is, and the thing about soccer, all you need is that perfect ball to set up your true 9, or in this case 2 forwards in their formation for Charlotte to put one in. And they certainly have put a scare in Daniel at least once or twice.
And a chance to build here again. Fasu. Westwood leaves it near side Uronen. Chance to build up. Again, it's the trialist who has the only shot on goal. Back for Uronen. Cross in, has to be parried away at the last moment. That might have caught a deflection, as Daniel had to spring to action to prevent anything tricky there.
And yeah, that got deflected off, it looked like the left knee of a Capo, So that's why it altered the trajectory of that cross. And fortunately for San Jose, Daniel was sharp as a tack, recognizing, this is going to be getting a lot closer to the goal than I think we were expecting to. Had to come up with a last-ditch effort to keep in front.
Diagere plays it short. Now sends it across to the back post. Half clearance. And then Espinoza draws a foul. Charlotte pleading it might go the other way, with Espinoza going up under Capetti.
And we saw that on the corner kicks attempted by San Jose. What was their strategy? Let's try to keep this on the air, allow our size to crash the box. Meanwhile, for Charlotte, they opted to keep the ball on the ground, understanding wind could be a factor and feeling like they could set something up with an extra touch.
Giveaway in a dangerous spot here. Fasu tripped up. And right on the edge of the attacking area. See if there's anything further in this. As Acampo pleads his case. With the foul drawn. Looks like it'll just simply be a talking to. And a set piece opportunity here for Charlotte with Ashley Westwood standing over the ball. Westwood into a dangerous area, header off the board, and still in for the moment. And now it will trickle out. Wow. Good ball in by Westwood. Found a teammate and nearly found Pater.
Well-timed run into the box. Got a good jump to connect off the side of his head, but a little bit off target.
Now Charlotte shows their press. Well done by Abobasi. Cleans it for Kikanovic. Benji Kikanovic in transition. Taking on 3 defenders. Finally has it pried from his feet, and now look out the other way as Berkemas can get it started. And he does draw a foul. And the referee will show a yellow to, looks like, Paul Marie. As you get another look at the header. Did miss by much.
That was a Dielson Malanda, that the defensive back, 6'1" out of France, was flying in, took off at the right time. And now we're starting to see the refs at first kind of allowed these guys to play on a bit, but at some point, when a line is drawn in the sand, you have to book a player, and a little too over-aggressive defensively that time for San Jose.
Could also be looking at a tactical foul there as Charlotte was starting to build up the transition game, and they'll call a tactical foul anywhere on the field. Arsenal made that so popular with as high as they play. It's another trip up there. And there'll just be a throw in. Yule got a piece of it. Quick build up the right side. Chance to cut it back. Would take a shot instead. Berkemas went for it. Or, excuse me, Berkemas, who had the drive from the far side. You get a look at him.
Just 15 years of age, Jake. We talked about this showcase for some of the younger guys, and Naim Fasha Berkemas trying to prove that he should receive at least one of those 30 supplemental spots, at least with the top 20 of the team.
Chance to build here for Yule. Centers it, but Bobasi. Yule again picking out a teammate. Skayan goes down. Whistle stays silent. Giveaway, though, and Espinoza at the edge of the box, but the whistle comes in late. The Charlotte FC player down.
Looks like the spot is just outside the 18.
Well, it's Malanda that's shaken up. I believe he was fouled, not the fouler. So it'll be a free release for Charlotte. "15 minutes to go in our first half. First of 4 matches across 2 fields today in Indio, California, on a sunny but chilly day in the Coachella Valley. Charlotte FC, after their 3-0 victory over LA Galaxy on Wednesday, pitching a clean sheet thus far again, have put themselves in some precocious areas, but have had the defending to answer each and every time.
Yeah, they've been challenged a little bit more on the offensive end in this game. San Jose has applied a good amount of pressure, but it hasn't taken Charlotte quite as long to get organized defensively, to rotate well. And those 3 defensive backs, very sturdy, very disciplined, and they've been able to communicate well and prevent San Jose from capitalizing on some of those chances.
Good burst up the right side, building a chance. A half chance at that. Espinoza will take it away. And waits for reinforcements as once again he and Acapo play a little 2-man game up the right wing. There's the ball in for Espinoza. See if he has options towards the back post, headed away from Abobasi. And that time a good build-up, but nothing really dangerous in the box. Charlotte has it well covered and marked in the end.
And Abobasi was waiting for that timed run. He was trying to stay onside, wait for that cross to come in for Espinoza. And good job by the center backs for Charlotte to keep him honest for that half a beat longer that caused that cross to be a touch altered.
Espinoza. Acapo. Gruezo will try the left side. Now Rodriguez anchors that back line on the plus side of midfield. Try the left side again. Ibobasi plays it wide.
Beautiful ball in the corner.
Centering ball. Kikanovic got a piece of it. Espinoza with that ball taking a second bounce. Espinoza trying to find freedom. He does, and drives it just wide.
Boy, that's excellent pursuit by Espinoza. It was just waiting for Uronen to kind of make that mistake. Got that extra touch with the left foot, squared up the shoulders, just a touch off balance, not leaning forward, but instead leaning to the side. Here's another look. He was actually claiming for a handball in the box. You can see the patience, waited for Uronen to kind of make his jump. Then that little flick with the right foot, and the one time by the left just missed that near post.
Yeah, how about that settle? To use the right foot to put it on a platter for himself. Went for the low corner, just couldn't quite pick it out. Probably the most dangerous look at goal so far for San Jose. And again, it's Espinoza, who was all over the place on Wednesday. Capetti continues to lead the conversation, if you will. He and Ewell come together.
And it was interesting when you heard Coach Smith talk about Capetti, because there were some rumors about potentially his departure from the club, and Coach Smith quickly squashed those, said, no, this is a guy that we want to be a part of this team. His impact, his leadership, he plays with such a joy. You can see the number of times that we've seen him, and the wonderful camera crew has caught him smiling today. And that's because of that natural exuberance that he plays with. And it's not a surprise that he's been one of their more prolific scorers since his time. Obviously just entering his second season, but the way that he was producing in year one last year, 6 goals, 2 assists, was prominent up top. We already saw him score the first goal against Galaxy as that flick goes awry. But he's someone that is one of the elder statesmen of this Charlotte team, and when you have so many new faces and you have a new coach, as you mentioned, Jake, third coach in as many years, you need some stabilizing forces, especially up top, and he can provide that this year.
With about 10 minutes to go in this first half, and a much different first half for San Jose than they had on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Charlotte very similar. Charlotte FC with their draw in the Leagues Cup here in 2024 at the East 4 bracket. Got the Philadelphia Union, fellow MLS club, and Cruz Azul out of Liga MX. The second iteration of a really fun tournament that runs in season.
And the MLS regular season starting just 11 days from now as well. Both teams trying to look sharp going into the regular season.
Here's an attempt to curl that back. Not much on it. Skayen wound up getting something towards goal, but easy for Bingham in the end. Now can Charlotte build? Talked about the San Jose Leagues Cup draw on Wednesday. As here goes Uronen. Leaves it off for Fasu.
Fasu, so dangerous on the ball. His ability to cut, change of pace and direction so quickly. Operates really well in small spaces. You can see every time he's had the ball, entire defense has had their ears and eyes raised.
Out to concede the throw. Uronen will start it again through their trialist. Privet. Malanda for Lindsay. Now a chance to perhaps put this into a dangerous spot. It is a drive blocked. Capetti at second goal, and Charlotte FC has taken the lead.
And who else, Jake, but the captain, Ashley Westwood, off the volley. Beautiful setup off the first shot that was blocked, and the midfielder out of England just patiently waited for that ball to settle in just an inch towards his hip, took it out of the air. Excellent second effort in pursuit by Charlotte and Ashley Westwood, their captain.
Just biding their time. So you get another look at it. What a strike on the full volley. After Capetti set it up, Westwood knocks it in. And Charlotte FC once again has the lead. They've now outscored their opponents 4-0 through nearly a game and a half of action at this Coachella Valley Invitational. You see the smiles on their face, the joy with which this Charlotte FC team is playing this preseason. It's really been a stark difference in the preseason under Dean Smith, and the fruits of their labor starting to show here, even building on what was already a very exciting fan base and a very promising start to 2024. Showing so far from the Coachella Valley Invitational will only further that along.
And especially when you are able to demonstrate a proof of concept, their ability to clinch their first ever postseason appearance last season. But I do want to go back, Jake, to that goal to discuss a little bit why. Because of that 5 midfielder formation I talked about for Charlotte, they're trying to utilize the entire contours of the field. And when you have that 5th midfielder, it allows you to stretch the defense out, and that's what set up that beautiful chip in for Capetti to apply that pressure before Westwood finished it off. And that's kind of the chess match within this game and within this system with Dean Smith and how he wants to utilize his bunch.
Here's a dangerous option on the other end. Yule crosses it in front. Or rather, Skayen was able to cross it in front, but knocked away from him. By the way, you did see number 33 in white in the match. Oscar Verhoeven had come on, and we saw San Jose make a half-hour mark change in this one after they saw New York City FC do it against them on Wednesday, and now another corner opportunity for Espinoza.
And this will be the 3rd corner kick for San Jose, so they have generated chances We'll see if they can capitalize here. They've clipped it through the air the last 2 times.
5 minutes left in the half. San Jose, Espinoza. Back post, not fully cleared. Recycled entry. Again finds the foot of Espinoza. Emergency defending from Diodri. Espinoza again driving in and again earns the corner.
That was such a savvy play by Espinoza. Just kind of threw it off the back of the defender. Didn't wait for anyone to get set up. It's almost like some of those inbounds plays that you'll see in other sports where it has to deflect off a defender first to set himself up for an individual unassisted assist.
Espinoza headed away. Gruezo there, but cleared all the way back. Second header does well to remove it from harm's way.
Just needed a little bit more height on that corner to give his players a chance. Kept it a little bit low. It was easier to clear.
Gruezo. Again trying to pick out Espinoza. And Bobasi, but Espinoza whistled for the foul as he was trying to clear some space for himself.
And it's good to see Carlos Gruezo start to get a couple of touches for San Jose. We haven't said his name much today, Jake, but this is a guy that recently was called up to represent his Ecuadorian national team. He's got a lot of veteran experience. They rely on him kind of to be sometimes the metronome of that center defensive mid, almost occupying the middle of the field well for San Jose. But he hasn't gotten many touches. Again, has been kind of reduced to playing more of a defensive back role as opposed to his dual ability to be a threat up top.
Rodriguez. And interesting, as soon as Verhoeven came in for Acapo, you almost see more how impactful Acapo is when he's not on the field. The way that 29 and 10 worked that right wing. They try to do it here with Verhoeven right on cue. And a well-weighted ball in for Skayen. Skayen with a deke. Skayen has it taken off his foot. Another blast off the bar. Kikanovic from the backside nearly. And Paul Marie, who had that brilliant goal from long range on Wednesday, getting into the mix on the offensive end as well.
Boy, momentum is fickle, isn't it? That was such a well-timed run. Let's take one more look. The beautiful Duke. Skayen fortuitously set it up perfectly for Marie. Just couldn't bend it an inch to keep it underneath the crossbar.
San Jose has proven they're willing to take long-range strikes. Converted on Wednesday, narrowly missing an equalizer here at the tail end of the first half.
And it's been interesting. We've seen a lot more offensive construction shown recently by Charlotte, but San Jose just needed that one instant to get that long ball. They haven't been able to effectively connect on those long balls a lot, but that was the first little chink in the armor shown by Charlotte.
Diodri with a good setup for Capetti, and he's forced away from goal. There hasn't been much stoppage time to speak of in any of the matches on Wednesday. Would imagine it'll be similar here as the final 90 seconds tick off of the first half. But Charlotte, who was on their heels a bit the first 20 or so minutes, able to get Ashley Westwood on a volley secondary entry. Can't really say it was against the run of play because they had certainly gotten their feet under them after that first quarter hour. Espinoza. Oh, what a touch. Taken down in the box, but perhaps went down too easily. As Ebobasi had a look there, but got on the end of it for a moment. Perhaps if he'd stayed up, would have had an option there.
That's so difficult to control that off your chest. With the first connection off your chest to set up your foot, Ebobasi creating all kinds of havoc up top for San Jose.
Final few moments of this first half. Rodriguez. And all the way back for Daniel. Now a chance here at the tail end. Crossed in front, Bobasi there. And as that's cleared away, we'll see if San Jose employs the same tactic of a full new 11 in the second half, or if they let these starters stretch their legs a bit longer here in their second preseason match here, the Coachella Valley Invitational. For the most part, we've seen about the hour mark be the substitution point where we've seen almost full shift changes. Espinoza can't get on the other end of that. Bingham, who's been quick to react when he's had to in this first half. We'll see if he stays out there in the second or if we see one of these young keepers for Charlotte for the second 45. Again.
And I would expect to see some changes, Jake, for the final 45, just because, again, this is an opportunity to allow different players to showcase themselves. It still is the preseason, but as you mentioned, first 45, we saw a lot of the starters that we're going to expect to see come regular season MLS time.
Halftime here at the Coachella Valley Invitational. Ashley Westwood's goal, the difference. Charlotte FC leads the San Jose Earthquakes 1-0. We're back with second half action in a bit here from the Coachella Valley Invitational. Welcome back to the Coachella Valley Invitational, day 2 of this fun 2-week preseason tournament. Getting ready for the MLS regular season coming your way in just a couple of weeks. Jake Levy, Jonah Malkin back here with you from Indio, California at the historic Empire Polo Grounds. After 45 minutes in our opener on day 2, Charlotte FC with a 1-0 lead against the San Jose Earthquakes. San Jose controlled much of the first quarter hour. Charlotte really built into the game, never allowed anything overly dangerous. Then got a great build-up from Enzo Capetti. His initial shot was blocked. The captain, Ashley Westwood, responded and put it in for a beautiful goal to give Charlotte the lead. There was a chance late in the half for Paul Marie, who had a shot from San Jose that rang off the crossbar, but nothing came of it. And Charlotte FC continues to hold a scoreless run on the defensive end through a match and a half here at the Coachella Valley Invitational. And you talk about what Dean Smith has brought to this team, Jonah. A compact defensive side. Yeah, they've given up some looks, they've given up some set pieces, but really they've been comfortable on the defensive end for the most part.
They absolutely have, and they've done a really good job of getting organized in transition. That's where San Jose has had their best opportunities, was on counters and potential long balls, and we obviously saw how disciplined that defense was for Charlotte, having those 3 defensive backs. But to me, Jake, one of the big differences was with Carlos Acapo. Once he left the game, it just seemed like San Jose lost their footing a little bit.
Espinoza chipping to the back post, flying in for the header, but just over the lunging head. And it's cleared back the other way. Charlotte now on the breakout as they push it ahead with Berkimas. Berkimas turns inside, has a runner with him. Berkimas at the top of the 18. Berkimas' shot is blocked. And then cleared away from San Jose. End-to-end action to start out this second half. So in the first, both sides feeling each other out a little bit. Not so much there, as within the first 70 seconds, both teams foray into the opponent's penalty area. A shot for Charlotte, but it's blocked. And now Westwood settles things as the Crown City looks to build.
And that was one of the first times that Charlotte was able to try to take advantage on that long ball.
We didn't get to say much about Jalen Lindsey in that first half, as you see him forcing the issue here for Charlotte. He's in a real battle for that right back spot. There are some good competitions all across every line for Charlotte, and that's usually what happens when a new coaching staff is implemented and nothing is guaranteed. But we'll look to see if we can get a little bit more from Jalen Lindsey here at the start of this second half. They've rotated who has started up top. Of course, they're waiting for a couple of reinforcements on the wings. We've talked about that. But other than a couple of really solidified spots in the midfield, there's plenty of opportunity for players to lay claim here during this preseason, whether it's for starting roles or chances to be rostered.
And Lindsey is someone, of course, a native of the Charlotte area, entering the 3rd year with this club, and they were really excited about him when he transferred over from Sporting Kansas City. Had played 4 seasons with that club. They really felt like he could add some sturdiness to that defensive line, even as just a 23-year-old. Sometimes when you don't talk about a guy, it's not because of their inability to make an impact, as we see a clip in the back, but more so because there hasn't been much action his way, and he's been so stable over there for Charlotte.
Substitutes warming up for both sides, and again, we'll see if it stays with the same theme of about that hour mark. San Jose leaving their starters out for the most part. Of course, we saw Verhoeven come in, as here's a run on the far side for Charlotte to build ahead. Acres of space in front. Espinoza gets in the way, does well not to foul in the penalty area. Westwood. There is Lindsey. Sets it up for Fasu.
Trying to work that right side right now, give their strikers a chance. But that's snuffed out well that time by Grezzo, who we talked about in the first half, needing to be more impactful, coming up with a nice defensive play there. If you're San Jose, if you can find a way to get that ball up top to Espinoza and Ibobasi, those two, when they have had touches, they have been impactful. They have advanced the ball well, and it's created a lot of chances they haven't converted on. But those two have really made some stellar individual creating plays up there.
Heavy collision there will draw the whistle. I don't think there was anything intentional or malicious about that, but bodies collide at a high rate, draws the whistle. Should be a foul against San Jose. As everybody looks to be fine. You see Uronen.
We haven't seen too many dead ball situations, if you will. And obviously we saw one booking in the first half. But I like the fact, Jake, that even though this is an MLS preseason game, the refs are trying to allow these guys to play, are allowing them to try to feel themselves out, not allowing physicality to obviously negatively impact some potential plays. But, you know, this is a chance for these guys to create some stuff on their own.
Tried to set it up there for Berkimas. Rodriguez. Takes it out wide. Espinoza. Long-range probe, hoping for Ibobasi.
I believe that smacked the face of Marie.
There you see Marie. He came the closest to scoring for San Jose in that first half, ringing the crossbar. Now a turn through the midfield for Charlotte. Lindsay. Setting up Berkimas. Into the penalty area. Had it run off his foot. And now a chance to break out the other way for San Jose.
Such a great face-up, though, by Berkimas to get his shoulders set, body in control. Even though it didn't result in anything, that first quick touch to be able to distance himself from the defender and square up was just exquisite footwork by the youngster.
Rodriguez. Try the right side, looking for Skayen. Stolen away. Diagere tripped up. He's chased now, leaves it up the left side. There you get a look at the new boss for Charlotte FC. Again, very exciting times for the Crown City as a guy with plenty of experience across the pond has his team in good order here in the preseason. Chance here, though. Skayen tried the return pass for Espinoza. That'll leak all the way out.
They've done such a good job, Charlotte, with their marketing department of building excitement around this team. As a team, number 3 collectively in jersey sales, which is hard to do in your first 2 years as a club. And, you know, again, we keep talking about Dean Smith, but that's what kind of helps aid that growth, is building with established veterans, established leaders in that clubhouse. And give credit to David Tepper for hiring him. He's the owner of Charlotte, of course, owns other professional teams there. And they've really committed and actually have invested in acquiring the best players and the best coaches.
Here's Marie.
Although I think he probably regretted the way that the Carolina Panthers competed this year in the NFL, but their actual football club has actually performed quite admirably.
Diagere tried to set that up with the left side. Rodriguez intercepts. You're not going to bait me into talking about that.
I thought I might because it's preseason.
Marie, given plenty of space to operate in the midfield, has a runner. Marie, he can shoot from long range. He's proven that already. There's a good ball over the top. Espinoza can't run it down after Gruezo tried to pick him out. Not a bad idea there from Gruezo, just a little bit too much on it, and Espinoza can't track it down, which is rare to say for somebody with his pace.
Yeah, and that's partly affected by the wind, having that extra tail at the end, almost skipped away from Gruezo, who was trying to catch up with it. But a good idea that time for San Jose. Now you can see them pressing up a little bit more in the attacking third, trying to apply a little bit more pressure, speed up Charlotte, make them feel them a little bit more on the offensive side.
Rodriguez. Well done by Berkimus to break up the flow of that, but kept alive momentarily. Kikanovich. We get a substitution for San Jose here. Alfredo Morales. We saw him in the second half on Wednesday as well. So the second change coming for San Jose. A little danger here. Daniel shrugged off the ball and forces Rodriguez into a defensive position as Capetti took it away from Daniel 1v1 but can't turn it into a goal. Now another interception.
And that should have been a grievous mistake that time for San Jose and Daniel, because Copetti is going to have, if this wasn't the preseason, he would have had nightmare sleeping tonight with the chance that he had right here. Just a little too lackadaisical from Daniel. Thought he could escape the feet of Copetti, and I think Copetti just thought he had a little bit more time. Obviously, heads-up play by Rodriguez to get back to protect the cage, but boy, that should have been a 2-0 lead for Charlotte there.
It'll end in a free kick here for Charlotte. Westwood, the goal scorer so far today. With the wind at his back, middle of the box, and Daniel tall to pull that in. And you see the way that the wind will impact team strategies there. Because as far away from goal as Westwood was, he knows he has the wind, so played it like he was only 35, 40 yards out. Gruezo. Rodriguez. There's Morales. Espinoza touches it wide.
This is a nice build for San Jose, keeping those passes compact.
Morales. Marie. Escapes it back. Another chance on the left side, Skayen.
Everything's on the ground right now, Jake, for San Jose. Not trying to take chances with this wind, potentially altering some of their passes, trying to keep everything at their feet.
Yule. Marie. Skayen back for Marie. Tight roping the end line, and then Marie whistled as he got into it. Not much contact there, but just enough to draw the referee's whistle for Marie's battle along the touchline. Good build-up, a lot of connected passes for San Jose. Played with the ball on the deck, and it leads to this opportunity here. Look at the return pass from Skayen, and then, yeah, you see the arm extended, knocking Lindsay to the turf. Pretty easy call for the referee in the end. And a nice job by Lindsay, too, sticking with it stride for stride.
And I think ultimately that was the best overall end-to-end sequence from San Jose. They probably connected on at least 15 passes on that possession, And you saw it was one of their most opportunistic chances.
Now Yule. Operating. Espinoza takes a deflection, and that should be a corner. So Espinoza just trying to make something happen there with no runners in the box. Had the ball 25 yards from goal. And he does at least earn the set piece, which he, of course, will insert. Those swirling winds still pointing away from goal, it appears. Although they change all the time. Espinoza cleared away. Gruezo back for Espinoza. Little give and go, but it's not there. Too much on the return pass. San Jose will keep the attacking pressure, but subs coming. As Espinoza wanted to go quick.
And Espinoza, of course, one of the building blocks potentially for this team. He contributed for 67% of their offensive chances last season in terms of goals and assists combined. So anytime he's on the ball, he really does a great job of making things happen.
Tommy Thompson checks into the match and immediately inserts the ball. We talked about him quite a bit on Wednesday, the 11-year veteran. A little bit of a slip there away from the ball, prevents that build-up. And then a bump. And again, Lindsay's on the turf. So we didn't say his name much in the first half, but he's been right in the thick of things here in this second period. An hour gone by, and now we'll keep an eye out for some substitutions. And this is right around the time where both teams will likely go deep into their bench. We've seen a couple of subs already. San Jose has made at least 3 that we're aware of. Here's one of them, Morales. Pings right to Skayen. Good recovery. Espinoza drives it along the deck and cleared out nicely. Privet gets in the way of that, concedes the corner.
And again, what did we see there? Instead of opting to drive it high, drove it low, trying to give one of his players a chance to knock it in off the ground.
Espinoza again. Christian Espinoza rolls it to the top of the box. Walking into the penalty area. What a deke through a couple of defenders. The cutback. Did it catch a deflection? Not this time. And so they tried a tightrope. As you see Skayen, he's been right in the middle of things for the San Jose build for much of this second half, but that time can't lead to another set piece opportunity. Although Berkimas can't keep that in.
And it was hard to see, by the way, what was hard to see on that corner was excellent movement away from the ball from Skayen and Rodriguez. Those two almost set like 2 back picks for one another. And that caused a little bit of confusion amongst the defensive line for Charlotte.
Capetti. And this time, Daniel will take no chances.
I like that you put the emphasis on the no chances there.
Well, we saw what happened last time those two got together. See the beautiful fountain in the background, these amazing Empire Polo grounds. What a scene to get ready for the MLS regular season. We've had a good one so far here today as Marie settles. Play it back for Yule. Marie once again. Little back heel. Does well to find Yule. Yule waiting. Yule. Drifting, Yule to the back post. Header played back in front and not much in it in the end.
Boy, that was just lovely ball control, especially with the back flick. Perfectly in stride on a through ball to hit Skayen. And they just have great chemistry up top right there for San Jose.
It was almost a cat and mouse game there of who could be more patient. And Charlotte, they just outweighted them. There was nothing really to do with it. All that great possession didn't really lead to much of a look.
And sometimes when you have too much time on your hands and too much time to set something up, it almost shifts your focus away from how you'd ordinarily approach being inside the box and taking offensive chances, and instead opting to do something uncharacteristic.
Malanda turns it back. Has it again. As Ewell forces the issue. Look out here. Dangerous giveaway. Morales for Espinoza. And left a little bit to be desired, trying to find Beeson, and instead now Charlotte can counter.
Look at all that space for Charlotte right now, trying to stretch out San Jose.
Past Rodriguez. And a bit of a heavy touch. Diageri had a chance at it. Here's Lindsay. Diageri. Bumped off the ball. Stays with Charlotte. Westwood.
Ref's just going to give them the advantage in the play on.
Berkemas tried to get something rolling there, but instead Rodriguez carrying all the way up the field will leave it ahead for Espinoza. Christian Espinoza back in front. A one-touch. Flag stays down for the moment. Curling shot is blocked off of Ebobisi's foot. I think everybody on the Charlotte side was sure the flag would come up. It does not. And Ebobisi had a good go there. We play on. As now Espinoza tripped up at the top of the box. Referee says play on once again, this time in the favor of Charlotte FC.
And instead of right place, right time, try right face, right time. Adilson Malanda's face just stood there like a statue on that shot from Ebobisi. That's the only reason why that curling shot perhaps didn't go through. And you're right, we all thought and anticipated the flag was going to be raised, but perfect patience in the attacking third on that buildup. The forwards were just waiting for Rodriguez to get rid of it, and they stayed onside well.
That was a really good job by the center back, though. Carrying play, seeing the opportunity.
Look at this well-timed advance there. That flick kept him onside. Espinoza in stride. And watch Malanda's face. He's calling for it. Boom. Right face, right time.
Got the crown of the head down. As there you see the changes coming. Looks like Charlotte will basically send in a full new unit for these last 20-plus minutes. And we do have a goalkeeper change, so we'll see one of the young keepers for Charlotte. Chituru Odunze will get the chance. Odunze, who is one of the exciting young keepers, another player from the area, comes from the capital of North Carolina. And Odunze will be one of those three that really competes probably more at the Crown Legacy FC side to give him game minutes. Of course, Kalina will be the incumbent starter for Charlotte FC. We saw a good look at David Bingham, who's a savvy veteran to push Kalina a bit and also give them another option at the first team level to allow a good rotation of those three young keepers.
And anytime you talk to a goalkeeping coach, the first thing that they look for is how much do the goalkeepers communicate? How much are they barking? How vocal are they in front of the cage? That's obviously, you have to have the innate skill, the innate talent, great reflexes and anticipation, but a goalkeeper's ability to command respect from that back line, to communicate well, that's the big thing for these young guys getting those reps in front of the net today.
Morales plays it wide, had Richmond. And we see some of those same substitutions that we saw on Wednesday. Richmond on the wing. He gave them some nice pace in that second half. We're going to look at Will. We already saw Tommy Thompson come into the game. See if we get a look at Preston Judd as well, who had a couple of dangerous runs from his striker position on Wednesday. Espinoza still out there as Thompson gives that a look. But a Deacon, a push down the left wing here for Charlotte. Into the box in a dangerous area. And curled off the side of the net. Untouched on its way through.
Another good build-up that time for Charlotte. Again, displaying some patience and buying time until some of their forwards could push up on that instant.
Yeah, it looks like João Pedro, who's checked in for Charlotte FC, had the run there. And again, the beauty of the preseason, get a look at a deep roster. The hard part is they change on the fly.
And he was called up specifically from their Crown Legacy team because he was named one of the best starting 11 at the MLS Next experience. He's someone that they've invested a lot in Pedro, just a 20-year-old, and yet nice to see him get some run here today.
There's a chance up that right side once again. Then keep it in play. Due for a moment and catch a deflection, so it'll be another corner insert here for San Jose. Feels like they've had about 10 at this point. Have not really been able to be overly dangerous on it. There's another substitution coming. We'll see if Espinoza remains on the field. There's Judd.
Nice addition in Judd first season with San Jose. You talked about his impact in the first preseason game as they're waiting for some of the substitutes to jog onto the pitch. But he's another guy that recently drafted 2021, showing a lot of promise now that he transferred.
More changes coming from the Charlotte side. Jelani Forbes. Now Espinoza with both hands up. Launches it to the middle. Half clear. And then a sky-high chance on a half volley left-footed. And the long range. Seen Bo LaRue. We've seen Riley Lynch, Jamar Ricketts. That was Ricketts who just had to go there, the MLS Super Draft pick. 13th overall. For Charlotte, they have to be thrilled, especially defensively with what their first 11 have done. With all the changes now, it doesn't mean you stop pressing on. The results still will matter for the film and obviously for building momentum, but that starting unit again putting up a 0 as they continue to grow.
And for the most part, by the way, it's been pretty similar to the way that they played against the Galaxy. They're on their heels for about the first 20 to 30 minutes, and then they get settled in, grab an early lead, and then just continue to hold on and build from there.
Byrne, the defender, gives it off. Arfield plays it through again. A little bit of a tug, staying with it, though, and then finally going down, although the whistle doesn't blow. Like Kerwin Vargas, who wanted the call. And now eventually a whistle does come, and Charlotte will have as you see Malanda still out there for Charlotte. So both teams with a few starters. Nikola Petkovic is out there for Charlotte FC now. With the wind at their back, can they make something of this and double the lead? Low liner. Perhaps not quite what they were looking out of that insert. Westwood, the goal scorer. So a good blend here. As you see, Nathan Byrne, who did not get the start today. But Charlotte, rather than going with a full shift change, Jonah, they've gone with a little bit of a mix and match, went about 6 or 7 replacements to play with some of those starting 11 and get a little bit of a different look out there, mix and match some different players and get a feel for what they have as a whole cohesive unit.
And that's exactly the purpose of switching up that formation is to try out some of these different players in different positions to see how they can blend going into the 2024 season. That's the beauty of the preseason, is to take a look at various players and see what type of damage they can do from different spots on the field. And the thing about Charlotte, and especially Dean Smith, you need to be versatile. You need to be able to play multiple positions when called upon. And especially with some of these younger players that are more impressionable, that you can mold them a little bit into the shape that you want. First season for Dean Smith, that's what he's trying to figure out, is the proper configurations and the formations of this group.
Thompson tried to restart it with the throw for Espinoza. But that cleared away, and now here's we've got a quarter hour to go. See if there's any more changes to be made now that some of those starters have stretched their legs a bit longer.
And I'd be curious to see if the strategy shifts for San Jose. We can see that back line trying to establish a high line on the defensive side, keeping more numbers up for San Jose to apply more pressure and create more scoring chances.
João Pedro. Come all the way back for the young keeper to collect and restart. So we don't see George Marks today. They play this ahead for Arfield. Marks, who was a collegiate standout with Clemson. That men's soccer team has been really good, especially the last decade or so. National champions in 2021. The likes of Justin Malou and the sorts.
Nice job to win that back by Scott Arfield. Good pursuit, although looks like Malanda is down right now, Jake. Hopefully he's okay as the ref's coming over and trying to take a look at him.
A lot of these legs being stretched. Malanda, who got the start today.
And with him specifically, he really hasn't been subbed out. He's pretty much played, if not the entirety of the match, the vast majority.
Charlotte a chance to build here up the left side. Good sliding tackle. Looked like Morales came back to make things difficult. And actually won the ball back. San Jose, a dozen or so minutes to try to answer the goal, trying to solve Charlotte for the first time in this tournament. Charlotte FC has kept a clean sheet against the Galaxy. And now through the first nearly 80 minutes of this one. And again, that'll make Dean Smith happy. San Jose trying to find the equalizer after they had two first-half goals on Wednesday. Did not score in the second half and give up possession here.
Even
4
numbers.
on 3 the other way. Cut back to the top of the box. Arfield off the post. Danger not fully averted yet. And then a bit of a lackadaisical pass allows the steal. And Richmond was trying to get going, but Arfield found himself in a really good pocket.
Great job by Charlotte to pounce on that free ball. And then a hard push down the left flank. They had a numbers advantage. Didn't wait for San Jose to get settled. They centered it in nicely, and Arfield certainly had a good look on it.
Now Ricketts with a good ball ahead. Finding Judd. Judd has it taken off his feet. Good sliding tackle to get possession right back. Into the 18, taken down, but not with enough force to warrant anything. As a matter of fact, it looks like we might see a booking for the dive as you get another look at the diving stop attempt. That ball went right off the post. So Judd will go into the referee's book for trying to earn a penalty there.
And they've consistently, the referees have consistently withheld blowing the whistle anytime there's been contact in the box. We've seen a couple times on both sides, players going down but not earning themselves one of those penalties.
Ten minutes to go. As we get a look at this kind of blended lineup here for Charlotte, that's been Dean Smith's MO from top to bottom, incorporating everybody in training, in collaboration, in communication. As a matter of fact, when the team began their preseason camp here, he had everybody, not just players, but technical staff, support staff, PR staff, you name it. Everyone was split into teams for some fun trivia night and scavenger hunt and swimming competitions, and they kept score. You know they will. And the winning team gets the reward of a nice dinner. The losing team has to put on a show for everybody. That losing team is going to do their performance tonight, so if you follow Charlotte FC's social media, pay close attention because hopefully we'll get a glimpse into what that might be.
How do you think you would have fared in a trivia night, Jake?
I've never been great at it. Just depends. I got to get lucky and get
I feel like you
sports
could be
categories
good.
or very niche trivia about music from alt rock in the 90s.
Alt rock in the 90s.
If you give me either of those, I got a prayer.
That would not have been on my bingo card.
Other than that, it's a hope and a prayer.
Great way, though, for team bonding, of course, in the preseason. Add a little levity to, serious seasons. I like those types of activities.
Byrne, who's in that competition with Lindsay, that right back spot. Dangerous lunge there from the keeper. And again, a chance for Charlotte with the keeper off his line. Can't do much with it. Good sliding tackle, though, pulls possession back.
And again, I'm surprised that the goalkeeper didn't opt to try to make a play with his hands.
This cut in front, and then the deflection. I think they were looking for the trail runner.
Because that ball bounced in the box, so legally he was permitted to go up with two hands, but instead decided to header it. And again, we've seen a couple of times in this second half, once with Capetti, where just a little bit of a careless play, and perhaps he thought that it was his teammate that played it back to him, but that was a little bit surprising.
This built ahead, Espinoza. We'll get to it quickly. Couple of chances left. Espinoza. Thompson.
You have to be in an all-out attack formation right now if you're San Jose. Have to shift away from a 3-4-3 and perhaps bring at least two more players up, at least to play in the midfield and potentially add another forward, because there's only 6.5 minutes and potentially whatever stoppage time is added to try to get that equalizer.
And a good opportunity here in preseason for Charlotte to work on playing with a lead, protecting that one goal advantage. San Jose a chance to maybe turn on the burners here. Go for the equalizer.
And the interesting thing about this matchup too, Jake, is both of these two teams finished with an identical spot in the standings. Both finished 9th respectively in their own conferences. San Jose obviously in the Western Conference and Charlotte in the Eastern Conference. So in a lot of ways, the future is pretty similar when it comes to both of these squads.
Stolen away by Ewell. Richmond, Judd. Charlotte FC. Read well that time. About 5 minutes left. See if there's anything more in this on end-to-end action. Baldissimo. Rodriguez. Ricketts. Looking for Richmond. Good patience there. Byrne wins it.
I like that effort, though, on the long ball. That's a nice sequence there for Charlotte, just a touch too far in front of Arfield. But again, San Jose was waiting to potentially get that one-on-one opportunity to send that long ball. That's sometimes the mistakes of center backs, is they'll send these long balls when there's an extra defender kind of assisting, but it's only when you have those rare one-on-one opportunities in matchups where those long balls can be most effective.
Morales can't get to that ball, give away in a dangerous spot, and that is rocketed up and out of play. No deflection, goal kick.
Got a little too much underneath that shot. The technique with the left foot, couldn't keep the inner part of that foot down, almost got the top of it. That's why that ball flared up too high.
Perhaps one Ajiman would like to have back. And might have another chance here. Morales. Espinosa. Run off the ball. On this windy day in Indio, California. Dual field action. I have 2 more live streams for you from the Coachella Valley Invitational here on Field 1. Portland Timbers and New York City FC coming up at 1 p.m. And the New York Red Bulls and St. Louis City SC at 2 p.m. on Field 2. Here's a chance. Taken off the ball, Tavares. They'll work it right side. Cut back in front, spinning through Arfield, sets it back, but nothing doing. And look out, a bit stretched here. Can Espinoza take advantage? Christian Espinoza walking into a dangerous area. Espinoza trying to find Richmond, and it's cleared away at just the last moment. Arfield came all the way back. Baldissimo. Ewell. Ricketts. Centered in front, and a deflection off a Charlotte FC player.
Boy, that's a great chance there.
And for Ricketts, had to really scramble there to react.
Put a lot of power on it with the left foot, was trying to find a teammate streaking down that near post off the one hop to just get a cleat on it. And fortunately for Adunze and the Charlotte defense, fell favorably right in his lap.
Last couple of minutes. San Jose, that was really their first good attacking pressure in a while. See if they can build one more. Try to get on the score sheet before this one's all said and done.
You have to overextend yourself right now if you're San Jose, even though that might make you more vulnerable on the back end. This has to be that possession right now.
Espinoza drew a deflection, or tried to. For San Jose, this is their second of the tournament. They'll wrap up next Wednesday. They take on the Portland Timbers at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Unless they can do something about this, they'll be sitting at 0-1-1 in this Coachella Valley Invitational. Spaldissimo. Thompson. Trying the right side. Rodriguez. Rodriguez does well to keep it there, but a chip over the top. And will be dumped out of play.
And now the question is, how much extra time will be added for San Jose? We did see a couple of stoppages due to injuries in this second half. We saw 1 minute of extra time added in the first half. Expect maybe 2 minutes here in the second.
Charlotte will have a week off after this one. They'll wrap up their trip here to the CVI on Saturday the 17th, take on Minnesota United. A 10 a.m. Pacific time start. They'll look, as it appears, to go for a perfect 3-0 trip to Indio, California. And so far, the cross-country journey has been highly successful. An aggregate 4-0 run through nearly 2 complete games is a dangerous effort there. Nothing too dangerous comes of it, though. As here, Ricketts, a last gasp for San Jose. Ewell through Morales. Morales directing traffic. Wants Ricketts. Can he keep this in play? No. And a little bit of an unforced giveaway there between two young players. Getting a glimpse at the future, perhaps, of the San Jose Earthquakes. Celebrating 50 years. And Charlotte getting some practice, salting away the final moments. Waiting for that whistle. As we are past full time. Rodriguez.
This will probably be the last opportunity for San Jose.
Richmond's got it. Ewell for Ricketts. Ricketts to the end line, keeps it in. No, he does not. And as it rolls across the back line, the final whistle blows. And Charlotte FC has a pair of wins at this Coachella Valley Invitational. And Dean Smith's side continues to build momentum and excitement towards the 2024 season. Ashley Westwood's first half goal, the lone tally in this one, as Charlotte FC pitches another clean sheet and moves to 2-0 here in Indio, California. Meanwhile, San Jose, they fall in this one. They're now 0-1-1 at the Coachella Valley Invitational. They'll wrap it up on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Charlotte gets a week off to think about these 2 wins and try to build that momentum even higher in their finale next Saturday. First leg of this Saturday, day 2 from the Coachella Valley tournament in the books. For Jonah Malkin, I'm Jake Levy saying so long here from